when the money is good to you, be good to the money.
Oof.
And when the money was good to people in 2020, they weren't being good to the money. They weren't investing the money. They weren't taking care of the money. They weren't watching their money. They were spending their money. And now they've created a lifestyle that they can't maintain because they weren't good to the money when the money was good to them.
Wow.
One thing that I can say, and my team and the people around me, like, we were good to the money when the money was good to us. So now that things aren't as easy, doesn't matter because we took care of the money when we had it.
Wow. How do we be good to the money, so to say, in these times?
Stop letting your money be lazy. And what I mean by that is, like, you want your money to work as hard for you as you do for it. So with inflation at all-time high, 6%, and interest rates at all-time high, we can't afford to just sit our money in a bank account anymore, bro. Like, we have to find ways to invest our money, whether it's into the stock market, whether it's into real estate, or whether it's into ourselves, because shout out to Alex Hormozy. He said, before taking money and invest it in the S&P 500, take that money and invest it in the S&P 500. And I'm like, that was a bar. Still in that, Alex. You got one more time. I'm taking credit for it. But I think we just have to, like, watch our money and make sure we employ it, because if we don't, inflation will erode it.
Yo, I wanted to, me doing these interviews, and I've been doing them for quite some time now.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like I overlook the small things because I'm trying to go for the big conversation, trying to go for the deepest the moments, right?
Yeah.
And I think of you in a similar way, because you talk about taxes, like how to write off things, how to have your money work for you so much, right? I feel like you like the expert at that shit, right? But I'm curious, right? I kind of want to challenge you a little bit.
Okay.
What are some of the things that you think you overlook? And better question, let's start. What are some of the mistakes that a first-time entrepreneur make when getting into the business? So before we get to the hacks and you can get 120,000 credit for the, you know what I'm saying? Like, before we get into that, right? And we're talking to the people that might not be millionaires. You talk to a lot of millionaires, right?
Yeah.
But somebody that's first time into this entrepreneurship thing, what do you think they overlook or they misstep on the most?
The point of getting into business is to make money. And what I mean by that is, people come to me like, man, how can I save on taxes? You ain't made no money yet. So, like, I think the common misconception is people want to start businesses for tax write-offs, but like they business ain't making no money. And you can't write off things if your business doesn't have income. So I think the biggest thing I see is people forget that the point of entrepreneurship, the point of starting a business is to make money first. So you don't have a tax problem, bro, until you have a money problem. And if you ain't solved the money problem yet, go solve the money problem and then come to me and then I'll help you save it. But if you ain't got no money, I can't do nothing for you.
I think I don't know if it was Wall Street Trap or somebody talking about this, because I've was a victim of that as well, and I'll explain. You get these LLCs, or you get this LLC, and talking about these tax write-offs, and this might be a little different, but if you have so many tax write-offs, what it's telling the government is you ain't make no money. But then when you're trying to get money from other people, right? I don't want to give you no money because if I look at your documents, you ain't make no money. So yeah, you ain't had to pay taxes, nothing like that. Cool. Yeah. You got away with it. Yeah. But now when you're trying to get funding, you can't get funded because your papers show that you ain't make no money.
Yeah,
break it down for me.
Why would I trust you with my money if you can't be trusted with your money?
But I made money, bro. I just finessed the government. Help me out. Like,
for sure.
What's more important?
And first of all, you don't have to choose. You can have both, right? There are certain tax deductions that get added back to your income when loan times come, right? And that main deduction is depreciation. So depreciation is a tax write-off that when you file taxes, it wipes out your income. But when you go apply for a loan, they add it back to your income. So you can have the best of both worlds in the same year.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So, for example, if you were to purchase a vehicle for your business, right? And your business actually makes money, guys. Let's not forget that. Make money in the business. But you used to purchase a vehicle, let's say it's a $100,000 vehicle, right? And you financed it, didn't have to put no money down. This year, if the vehicle weighed over a certain amount, you would get to write off 60% of the value of the vehicle. So if the vehicle costs $100,000, you get a $60,000 deduction for depreciation. When you go to apply for funding, they will add that $60,000 back to your income.
Oh, wow.
For your application approval, because they understand that depreciation is not an actual expense, because you'd have to actually pay money to get that deduction. So they're going to say, since the money didn't come out of your account for this deduction, we're going to add it back. Same thing for real estate. When you purchase a real estate property, you get to depreciate the value of your real estate property. Even if your property goes up in value, the government will give you a tax deduction as if it goes down in value, because it has wear and tear. So for example, you might buy $100,000 property, and if you implement certain strategies, you can write off 30% of that. You can depreciate 30% of the property in year one. So you would get a $30,000 deduction for the depreciation of your property. That the deduction will get added back to your tax return. So if you find the right deductions, you can lower your income so you don't have to pay taxes, but you can still get approved for loans at the same time.
What's up, family? Are you ready to make more in 2024? I'm talking make more money, pay less taxes, and get access to more capital? If so, I want you to join our 100% free masterclass, where we're going to be teaching you all of these strategies so you can keep more money in your pocket and you can make your money make money for you. So if you want to be a part of this amazing free class, all you have to do is click the link below and save your spot. The problem is we only have 50 seats. So I will pause this episode, go register, and come back to it after so that you can save your seat for this masterclass. Other than that, I'll see you inside the class. Let's get back to the episode.
Sheesh. That's a game.
So you don't have to pick either or.
Okay, so you can have both.
You can have both. Yeah.
Okay. Yo, you was talking about, before we got started, you was talking about you about to build a studio and you about to get another spot or whatever. Build a studio.
Oh, crazy. Yeah.
And I was curious about that, because you could like write that off if you got a studio in your home.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm moving into a 2-bedroom penthouse in Dallas, Texas, right?
So you're moving there.
Yeah.
This isn't just for content.
No, I'm moving there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But like strategically, right? So I'll just give you the whole play, and I'll give you real numbers too. The apartment is going to be about $8,000 a month, right? And I'm going to live there, but I'm also going to build a content studio in the same apartment, right? What most people would do, they would move into the apartment. They would live in the master bedroom, right? And then they would turn the secondary bedroom into the studio. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the master bedroom to the podcast studio, and I'm going to live in the secondary bedroom, because it doesn't matter, because the whole apartment's mine. But the bigger the space that you dedicate to business, the bigger the deduction, right, that you get. So for example, the master bedroom represents about 30% of the apartment. So because I'm turning the master bedroom into 100% business use, 30% of my apartment is now represented by my business. So now I'm going to be able to write off 30% of the $8,000 every single month via the home office deduction, because I'm turning majority of my apartment into business use.
Wow.
So if we take 8,000 times 30%, that means that I'm going to write off $2,400 per month times 12. I'm going to get a $28,800 tax deduction for turning a piece of my apartment into a content studio. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And then I'm also going to be able to deduct all the money it's going to cost to build out the studio. It's probably going to cost like $15,000 to $20,000 to build out the studio with the right cameras and the right lighting and all that stuff. That $20,000 is also going to be tax deductible in my business as well.
Wow.
So I'm going to probably, to build a content studio in my apartment, the IRS is probably going to give me a $48,000 write-off for doing so.
Yo, you know what's funny about that? Because and now I'm gonna get into my selfish questions, and
ask for a friend,
might
bro.
might get more interesting. So
Yeah.
the crazy thing about that is going through this journey, and I'll get a little vulnerable, I guess. You don't want to bring people into your space, right? It's like, and then you want to have your own studio. You want to pull up looking like Big Dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things don't work out that way, right? And I feel like more people need to know that, because that make me feel better about my situation, to be honest. Because now it's like, oh, so this can be a benefit on multiple ways.
Yeah.
Saving money and getting tax deductions.
Yes.
But I never thought about it like that. I'm thinking about perception, because I'm just being real. Like we want to build this brand. It's perception. That's how we get lost in that.
From the real talk, you know what changed my mind? Wallow and Gilly. Have you ever been to their? Okay,
I haven't.
Okay, so
I know you have though.
yeah,
So break it
So,
down.
and it changed the game for me. I mean, obviously, I knew the tax benefits, right? Of building a studio in your own apartment because you get to write off where you live, and that's dope. But dude, like I went to their studio. They record in the same grandma house they used to live in when they was a shorty.
Wow.
And it's just a regular crib in Philly. And the back room is their podcast studio, which they generated tens of millions of dollars. And guess what? They had Kevin Hart in that studio. They had Jim Jones in that studio. They had Brent Fayez, some of the biggest artists in the world were okay recording in a studio in a grandmama house.
Wow.
So like, it just changed my thought of the perception. I don't gotta try to flex for the people. If they really rock with me and they really want to do my show, they gonna do the show. They gonna do the show. So like watching Wallow and Gilly do it, I was like, oh, okay. I don't have to go invest unnecessary money in a new studio build out unless I'm super ready to do so. And so that gave me the peace of mind and clarity I needed.
I want to say thank you because that just helped me out. And because and I talk for the smaller creators or whatever, when you don't have the name, you want everything to be, it's like you want to do more because you want people to pull up and say, wow, you want people to pull up and be like, okay, it's worth it, or I don't feel bad for coming here. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the fact that you said like Gilly and Wallow did it, and I'm like, you naming people, I'm like, because I'm thinking, man, I can't have I don't know, a Jay-Z or whoever. I can't have a Brent Fayez walking here. But now, like you said, like if they rock with you, they're going to rock with you regardless.
Yeah. Well, focus on you until the focus is on you, bro.
Ooh.
Like real talk. And I think, real talk, we can get deep on this. It's just another, it's a stigma of imposter syndrome. So like, because
wait, hold up, keep going.
Yeah. No, real talk, because like if you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe your show is good, or you don't believe that you've earned the right to have some people in your studio, you're gonna spend unnecessary money to do something because to make you feel more validated as a person, which is why in our culture we have people buying watches and jewelry and whatever to overstimulate for the fact that they're not confident, or they don't really have they don't really have it the way that you think they have it, so they're gonna buy things to fake it until they make it. So Jay Hill was like, you have all the confidence in you, and you know you the man, and you know you have one of the best shows out here. You know you put in the work. You've been doing this for years. The studio don't matter because you've worked on yourself so much and you've worked on your show so much that people are gonna pull up regardless.
I don't know. I want to argue this, but I can't because you make so much sense. So me, I'm thinking, I'm just like perfectionist. I wanted to look a certain way because my content look a certain way and I got to live up to the standard.
Yeah.
But that makes so much sense, bro. And it's like, I never thought that if you ask me, I ain't have no imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
But maybe so. Because clearly if you care that much about what somebody else think when they come in, then how confident are you?
And just to not leave you on a boat, I still have imposter syndrome, bro. And I've been doing what I've been doing for 11 years.
Damn.
Because it's just a matter of like wanting more, right? I feel like if you don't suffer from a little bit of imposter syndrome, I feel like you just don't care enough about getting to the next level, because as you grow, you're going to still compare yourself to where you want to be. And you're here, where you want to be is here. This gap is the imposter syndrome because you ain't there yet. And it's okay because you want excellence. Now, if you were comparing yourself to who you used to be, there wouldn't be no imposter syndrome because you don't want more. Cool. And the way you get over imposter syndrome is just by putting in the work to feel so confident. Like on my way over here, bro, I was still studying on my way over here. Different tax strategies because I didn't know what we were going to talk about. And I refused to not have an answer. So I think if you don't suffer from imposter syndrome a little bit, I don't think you care enough.
Yo, that's crazy. I think I was talking to my daughter and I was asking what she danced. And she was like, she's nervous. This is a while ago. And I'm like, that's good. Because when you care about something so much, you should be nervous.
You should.
Right? Because shit, bro, I done podcast. I did 1 million of these. I ain't gonna lie, I got 1,000 videos on my YouTube. No exaggeration, probably 1,100. No exaggeration, bro. I still get nervous sometimes on conversations because I know I study for it, I prepare for it, and I want my work to be present on camera. I want you to know that, man, this nigga.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I be nervous,
Yeah.
Damn. But I never thought about it like that. Imposter syndrome. Damn, bro. When the last time you think you felt it?
Okay. Yeah. So I feel it right now. Because so in our company, in our financial advising and tax company, we want to serve a higher end client, right? Because we've been working with entrepreneurs, 6 figures, and now we want to work
What higher end client? Because you talk to a lot of millionaires.
Yeah, but like we want 7 to 8 figure clients, right?
Okay.
To bring more value. So I'm like, okay, I had to talk to myself. I said, if somebody's making $10 to $15 million a year, do you have what it takes to really to give that person good advice? Like, if somebody's making and so it was a challenge for me. And this is recent, right? Because me and my business partner talk about all the time. Like, all right, we want to work with some higher tier clients, and who do we have to be to attract those clients? And so now it's making me get back in my bag and get back into my knowledge to be like, all right, well, I have the strategies to help 6-figure entrepreneurs. I have the strategies to help 7-figure entrepreneurs. But what happens if an 8-figure entrepreneur comes to me and say, hey, Carl, I need help with saving on taxes and building my investments and building an estate plan? Like, do I have what it like? And I had to talk to my partner. I said, bro, I don't know. And like me and him had a real conversation. Bro, I know who you are. He said, I see more in you than you see in yourself. You got this. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm going through it right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think that again, if you're not chasing more, then you won't have this problem.